Hey, it's me. I'm back again. Can you believe that I'm recording 2 videos in one day? That's why I'm wearing almost the same thing as I wore in the last video, but maybe you didn't see the last video. So I've washed this dress and I'm wearing something new, and you don't know the difference because you didn't watch the last video. Why didn't you watch the last video? Never mind, it doesn't have any sort of effects on my self-esteem or anything like that. It's not like I want more views. Anyway, I'm back again, and this video is about my top anime summer picks. These are the animes that I've just started watching. Some of these animes actually began in spring, but I don't know, like, it's from Japan. Like, it had to get here, like, through customs and, like, shipping and stuff like that, so, like, calm down. But these are my top picks of the things that I'm watching right now, the things that I'm enjoying. Most of these are either on Hulu or CrunchyRoll. I think what I'll do is I'll actually write a list of the animes, or maybe what I'll do in post. Maybe what I'll do in post is I'll write if it's found on CrunchyRoll or found on Hulu. Oh my god. You're such a genius. Okay, so anyway, my first pick, I have them written down, and I shouldn't tell you these like production notes, but you know, I'm just gonna be real. Like, we're friends here, so I'm just gonna be real. Okay. The first one that I picked is this anime called 91 Days. This anime I think is on episode number 2 or number 3, and it's about a guy in oh my god, I don't even know. It's supposed to be like maybe Gangland, Chicago, or New York, or something like that. His parents are killed by the mob, and he makes it his mission to take his revenge out on them in 91 days. And it's actually really beautiful. It reminds me of Bakano. It just has this like very romanticized image of what American life is like, especially in, like, I guess it's supposed to be like the 1940s or 30s possibly, but it's really interesting and I'm loving it so far. This next anime is this anime called Arslan Senki, I think is how you pronounce that, which the English title of it is the heroic legend of Arslan. That's it. So this anime I started watching a couple of seasons ago. I watched the whole season. This is season number 2. Basically what it is it's taking actually off of a Persian legend and taking it into a modern sort of retelling of it. The anime is a remake of a manga from the 80s. So let's see, we've got an anime in 2016 that is based off of a manga that came out in the 1980s that is based off of a Persian legend from, like, I don't know, like year 7 or 6 or something like that. It's really great. It's just kind of a general adventure tale. There's like not a lot of magic or anything like that going on, but it's really cute and I really like it. And this is season number 2. The next one, I'm just gonna skip that. That's really hard to say. The next one after that is Twin Star Exorcist. So I'm a fan of any anime that has to do with exorcism. Because I don't know really why, but it just seems like it's just like really interesting to me. This one is about 2 people who find out that they're both these exorcists that can like heal the world and fix everything. It's great. Give it a try. The next one is this one called Totally Noshita, The Outcast. This anime is actually a Chinese and Japanese collaboration anime, which I've never seen before. I don't know if I've watched a lot of Chinese animes before, but this one is actually really great, and it's dealing about Chinese vampires and Chinese ghouls, which is really actually very interesting. I've never seen that before. So the animation style isn't, from what I've heard or people have told me, like, oh, Chinese anime is not the best, like you can tell the difference, but this, to me, I couldn't tell the difference until I looked it up, and then I was like, oh, it's Chinese, like, oh, okay, well, cool, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So the next anime is this one called Orange. There seems to be trends in anime, like whenever an anime comes out, there seems to be this sort of trend of like a whole bunch of animes just like it coming out in one season. And Orange is very similar to another anime where a person kind of goes to their past and they fix things that have happened in their past. So in this one, an older version of this girl, this girl receives a letter from her future self, basically telling her how not to make the mistakes that she regrets later on as an adult. It's got super feels, it's super emotional, it's much better than this other anime that's just like it called Real Life, where this guy goes into the past and becomes a teenager again, because of the fact that Real Life is super creepy and it's kind of like an adult man manipulating himself to have sex with teenagers, which is like, no, don't like that. I don't like that. So yeah, that one's not cool with me. Watch Orange instead. It's much better animation, it's much better writing, it's much more interesting, and it's got like all the feels. The next one that I really like is this anime called Kisnaiver. Yes, that one. It is an anime that I believe started last season, and I believe that season is almost done, or it might be ending now, but it's a really interesting anime. The animation is crazy. It's basically about this like company that experiments on these kids where they all feel each other's pain, and it's this way of like, we can solve the world's problems by sharing each other's pain. So these kids have to spend this entire summer where they share each other's pain, and it sounds really dark, and sometimes it is, but it's actually also really funny, and the animation is really cool at the same time. So I really like that one, if I could only figure out how to pronounce the name. This next one I'm so excited about. This next one is called The High School Life of a Fudanshi. Now, a Fudanshi is a similar concept to a Fujoshi. A Fujoshi is basically a woman who is obsessed with anime, who is obsessed with yaoi, who probably isn't a kid anymore, but who is kind of, well, it's kind of like the word otaku, but it's like more female. And I've never actually heard of the term fudanshi before, but fudanshi basically means the same thing as a fujoshi. Like, it's somebody who enjoys boys love anime, who is really into boys love anime and has no shame about it whatsoever. But it's a guy, and he's in high school, and he's really obsessed with yaoi. And oh, by the way, yaoi is Japanese for boys love manga. So anything with two male protagonists who are in love with each other, and it's probably really smutty, and they probably have tons of sex, and it's the greatest. Anyway, we're gonna cover that. Oh my god, top 10 yaoi titles. Oh my god, such a good idea. You're so smart. Ooh, you're so smart. Yeah, so this one is a short anime. I think each episode is like 12 minutes long. It's really funny. You should check it out. The next anime that I want to talk about is this anime called Bungo Stray Dogs. This anime, I believe, already finished its first season, and basically what this anime talks about is a group of paranormal detectives who find this kid, or this kid kind of finds them, and then they solve these crimes that are happening with each one of them. Each one of the detectives has these different special psychic abilities, and it's actually really interesting. It's really funny, it's a little dark. The next anime that I wanted to talk about was this anime called Alderamin on the Sky. Yes, nailed it. So this anime is, I just started watching it, I think, God, I'm only like 2 episodes in or something like that. And this anime is kind of a fantasy anime. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Arslan or Magi or something like that. It's sort of like Arslan plus Magi kind of together, which both kind of also remind me of Record of Lotus War, which if you're of a certain age, you might remember this anime that came out in the 90s called Record of Lotus War, and it was this big, epic anime that was about, it had dragons and elves and magic and swordsmanship, and it was really great, and it was really fun. This anime kind of follows along with that as well. Like, it's a full fantasy aspect. There's two different countries who are fighting up against each other, and there's like magic and stuff, and like there's like romance and like fighting and stuff like that. It's great. So that's going to be on my top pick of the anime that I watch for the rest of the summer. What will happen is that I will probably check in later on and see what my top picks are for the fall. Or maybe what I should do is I should pick the animes that I watched during the summer that were any good. So they all can't be good, okay? Like, they all just can't be full of hot guys, like, rubbing, you know, baby oil on each other, and, like, singing about stuff, and, like, you know, like, maybe, like, you know, like, kissing, and, like, you know, like, getting real close to each other, and, like, almost kissing to each other, and then, like, their lips get too close, and you're just like, and you're just there. I forgot what was happening. I'm really lightheaded. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I will be back later on to give you more reviews, more top picks. Thank you so much for watching this, and subscribe to my channel and subscribe to the Black Girl Nerds channel as well. Alright, you guys. Guns. No, these are not guns. These are water shooters. They're spraying water because it's summertime.